Okay, here is a video that helps kids do a pretty challenging unit, which is Unit 7 in Brillante, which is this one. Unit 7 in Brillante, learning the 5 C's. Or in this book, it's the same concepts, Animato, Unit 6 in Animato. So here's a video that's going to help with both of those units because it's the same information. Okay, so let's talk through it. So middle C, we're going to learn 5 different guide notes, right? We're going to learn 5 different C's on the piano. So middle C is fairly easy because if you notice, it's in the middle of the grand staff and it has one little line through it. So if you imagine, I like to imagine this, imagine that middle C, it looks like a cat, right? If you give it kitty ears, okay? So on the piano, middle C sounds like this, okay? Another note, which is the next C up on the piano, is called treble C, right? This is our treble clef, so it's treble C up in space 3. 1, 2, 3, okay? So here we go. Middle C, go to the right, treble C, okay? So it's the next C up on the piano to the right. And we see that on this little keyboard, okay? And then now let's look down at the bottom here. We have middle C right in the middle of the piano, treble C, the next C to the right on the piano, and then our next C, high C. So you see that on this little keyboard also, okay? So if we look at them and study the middle C, we'll call that the kitty whiskers, right? It's right in the middle of the grand staff. Treble C, space 3. High C, we call these ledger lines. High C has 2 ledger lines, so it's on the second ledger line, okay? Now here's where it gets really interesting. If we look at the next page, these ones we're gonna kind of duplicate down in the bass clef, down where the low notes are, okay? So if we look at it, middle C for the bass clef, it looks just the same as this middle C for the treble clef. It's closer to the treble clef. This one's closer to the bass clef. Bass C in the 3rd space down, just like this one. This one was the 3rd space up. This one's 3rd space down. And then low C, 2 ledger lines below the bass staff, right? So if we turn the page, you're gonna see it all together. Middle C, right? Middle C closer to the treble clef. In this note, it's all the same note, middle C. Treble C, the next C to the right, 3rd space up. High C, 2 ledger lines out. Bass C and treble C, they kind of look similar, right? 3rd space up. This one's a 3rd space down. Middle C, go to the left. Bass C and low C. So to be super honest, this unit is a little tricky for kids, so I would just do 1 page at a time. Okie doke. So if we look at the next page, they give you a picture here. You're gonna draw those over here. See how I started drawing those? Middle C for the treble clef, middle C for the bass clef. It's the same note. And they kind of give you a guide right there, right? So where they put the words, treble C, 3rd space up, bass C, you're gonna draw it right here, 3rd space down. High C, make sure you put 2 ledger lines, right? Ledger lines, they basically extend the staff because we have 88 notes on the piano. So we got to make it bigger, right? So that we can do all the notes. So we draw 2 ledger lines and then your high C is on that one, okay? Bass C, you'll put it right here. Low C, draw your 2 ledger lines and boom, there it is. So if we kind of had a dotted line and we folded the staff in half, these guys are similar, right? This one and bass C, which I didn't draw, those ones are similar. 3rd space up, 3rd space out, and these guys are similar too. So the rest of this unit, what I would do is just find 1 note at a time. For example, down here, find only the middle C's, right? You remember this is what middle C looks like. Find only the middle C's and circle those, okay? Then you find your next note. Only the treble C's, third space up. 1, 2, 3. So there's a treble C, there's a treble C. So that's what I would do in this unit. This unit is kind of tricky. And so of course, if students need help, I definitely help in class. But I like to give another explanation because this unit is kind of tricky for kids.